Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin from Justice League Swag, and today we're going to be doing a deck profile on the first place deck profile, Prisms, from Sakura Fest. So, Dave, take it away.
Hey guys, so as you see, my buddy is Quintessence Crystal Dragon Thora. This is the main one you want to go into. It's pay 3 gauge, put 2 cards into its soul. You want to go in this one because you don't take card effect damage, and it can't be destroyed by card effects. So we'll start with the 3s. I run 4 of the Quintessence Crystal Dragons. This is the main one you want to go into. It's actually helped me a lot of games because they either had to link attack, or when they just try to remove the soul, I just keep it on the field with some of my spell cards. The next size series is 4 of the trial deck Thoras. This is a good backup because it does have the double attack and soul guard, and it can't be destroyed on your opponent's turn. The only downside is during your turn it can be destroyed, but it is a good backup until you can get out your buddy. Next, what I run is 2 promos of Garnet Diagram. I like him because he's a 5/2/7, but if you have any of your crystal cleats or your emerald cleats attached, he becomes either a 6/2/8 or a 7/2/9 with automatic counterattack from the items themselves. Pay 2 gauge, 1 card in his soul, double attack, soul guard with counterattack. Very good. He's actually stole some games for me. Next I run is size 3 Green Dragon, Sheldry. I like him because every time he's destroyed, you gain 1 life. Against some matches, I had to play him over Thora because his second ability, if you're over 7 life, when he attacks, he destroys. Played against ninjas, Shadow Dive killed, just attack their side or attack their center, destroy their resources. Very good card. Next, I'm running 4 size 1s, Candy Crystal Gillettes. Love this card because if you have a size 3 on the field, it becomes a size 0 with Soul Guard. His ability gives a monster on my center +1/+1. Also, it works on himself if he's the card that's in the center. So size 3 on the center becomes a 0 with Soul Guard, and usually they're going to have to kill it because they're not going to be able to get over your center's power boost. Next is my size 0s. I only run 2 Red Crystal Dragons Almarone. When it enters, you have size 3, gets a gauge. He's mainly just for resource to gauge, and then if he dies, he dies. Next, the draw engine. I run 3 White Crystal Dragon Rizzlings. Again, size 3 on the center, because your main is against size 3. You draw a card, draw engine for the deck, because you want to see your buddy as much as possible, and your hand advantage. Next, I run 2 White Crystal Dragons Ferments. They're your Mock Brave of the group, so an extra shield. Just call it if you don't have a monster in your center. He's only got 1 soul left. Pay 1 gauge, call it. Now it's a redirector. Very good card. For my items, I run only 3 Crystal Spikes. I would put it at 4, but I don't have 4 itself. But this is the burn damage. They attack as long as you have a Crystal Prism on the field. It doesn't have to be on the center. Yes, my bad. Actually, on the center. So if they attack your sides, they still take 1 damage automatically. You pair this up with Radiant Shell. They take a damage from Radiant Shell and a damage from Crystal Spikes. So that's 2 damage, and they can only reduce probably 1. Very good card. And that's the +2/+2. The other item I play is Emerald Spikes. I like this card. It saved me matchups because you can destroy this card to keep a Prism Dragon on the field, and it gives it the boost of 1/+1. And if they were to like Executioner destroy an item, you can counter speed this to destroy this to keep your monster on the field. It helped me save a lot of games. The only impact I run is Cristiano Crystal Shoot. It's the end game finisher. Once you get them to 4 life, during their final phase, you pay 2 gauge, instant kill, no burn novas. Now, I only run 1 Visible Light because I don't have gauge problems, but you also run a lot of cards that gives you gauge. It's an automatic 2, and then if you have 8 life or more, you gain 3. So you're either going to get 2 or 3 for nothing. The next spell I run is Fragment Reload. I ran this card because you destroy a monster on the field, as long as you have one in center, and you get gauge equal to that. This helped me destroy bots, because bots can't be destroying your opponent's turn, but your turn, fragment, reload, kill bots, gauge off his size. Very good card. Next for draw engines, I run 4 enhancements. Enhancements, as long as you have a Prism Dragon on your center, size 3, you gauge 1, draw 1. Helps with your gauge problems and helps with your hand. You team this up with a Starjack boost, it can come very handy. Speaking of Starjack boosts, I only run 3. Only run this at 3 because Starjack boost, you have to be at 7 life. So you're at 7 life, turn 1, Starjack boost for free. Play, if you don't have a size 3, try getting your hand. Get a size 3, then play enhancement. Now you just plus off of it. After 7 life, it's pretty much a dead draw. For shields, I run 4 Radiant Shells. As long as you have a Prism Dragon on the center, this nullifies the attack and burns 1 damage. So you play this with the Emerald Spikes, the Crystal Spikes, they're going to take a total of 2 damage. Very good, and also helps against Prism Dragons if they don't have the Buddy of Thora. Next spell is Brush Upper. I like Brush Upper. It's a very good card because you can choose a Prism on your center. The counter, it stays on the field next time it be destroyed, and if you have 6 life or more, you gauge. Again, helps you with your gauge because it's a gauge card, but I mainly do it to keep the monster on the field because I don't have gauge problems with this. Next spell is your counter attack. 4 Prism Amulets. Choose your monster, Prism Dragon. Gonna give it +3/+2 counter attack. So they link at you for 9, you're gonna hit. Now your monster is gonna turn into a 12k, 11k counter attack, destroy the monster. Very good card. I did have to side deck against some matches, so here's gonna be my side deck. This is my alternative to Quintessence of Thora. Is Blue Crystal Dragon Calvados. He nullifies Penetrate, so if they're attacking you with Penetrate, you don't take the damage. He's pay 1 gauge, get 1 soul, and then when he card leaves the field, you gauge. So again, a gauge helper as well. I only play 1 right now of Red Crystal Dragon Gammon. What he does, size 3 on the field. This goes onto the field, left or right. You remove a soul from a card on the field. Helps against Othora, any of Prism Dragons, or if they have Ball Slay, you remove the soul. Next, I run 2 Prism Eyes. Prism Eyes, you pay 1 gauge, you destroy a monster in your opponent's field with power equal to or less than the defense of your monster. So if your buddy or your monster's at 9k, 8k power, you play this, it destroys your opponent's monster. Very good card. Next, I run 1 dead copy. I ran 1 dead copy because if I really wanted to keep a Thor on the field, I will let it die if I have the resource, cast dead copy, discard card from my hand, and then I would recall a Thor back to the field with 2 soul. So it helped a lot, and they just had to get through the wall again, so it helped me deck out some decks. Harrigon, I only run this at 1 because it's an iffy, but you can call a Prism from your hand by paying the call cost, and it automatically gets counter attack. And they have to change the target to that card, so they have to attack it, and if you can get your big eye out, it's probably going to kill them. For Mirror Match, was probably one of my biggest issues. Antimatter Cloud, I run at 3. Antimatter Cloud, you pay 1 gauge, discard from hand, nullifies the call of a size 3 monster. So I used it on a Prism guy that I was facing, tried to call out Thora. I played this card, and he couldn't, so then his field's wide open, gave me one of the games.
Okay, pretty good. So that was your side deck. So how were your matches for Sakura Fest?
The hardest match was probably round 1. I faced my teammate John. He had Executioners. We went back and forth wise until he just destroyed me.
Okay.
The second game, I faced Jack. Yeah, Jackknife. It was good because he had a link attack, and since I had Thor on the field, he couldn't really destroy it with any of the abilities, and I would just counterattack, making waste his resources, and just attack him.
Okay.
One of the matchups in top 8 was giving me a hard time was Ninjas because of Shadow Dive. The size 3 Green Dragon Sheldry, I actually chose to have that over Thor because I would just attack and destroy his resources for Shadow Dive, and then once he didn't have hand, I would just go in for damage. And then again, I had to face my teammate in top 8 with Executioners, and I end up winning from deck out because it was just a wall.
And then the next round, you had to play Harrison for top 8, right?
Yep, the ninjas, and that's when I had to rethink my whole entire strategy because Shadow Dive kills prisms because your spells don't work, your counterattacks don't work because they're just gonna hit you for damage.
Wow, I'm glad you said that because there was somebody on the group that didn't think that Shadow Dive mattered against prisms.
No, Shadow Dive hurts prisms, like I said, because none of your spells work. Because Radiant Shell says when your monster's attacked. So
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only other card you could run for that it's like a card that kills monsters with 3k defense or lower. And then there's the one card that will kill attackers with defense lower than your monster.
Yeah,
but I don't know the casting cost. And then your final round you had to play against Menham and you devoured his soul.
Yes.
His little girls.
Yes, against heroines, I destroyed heroines with
Oh
this.
yes. Could you say that again?
I hate to say it, but I destroyed Menham with his heroines.
Oh yes.
Against my Prism Dragons.
I hope he watches this. But,
Sorry, John.
All right, thanks, Dave, and everybody watching this. Please like and subscribe, and we'll try to have more deck profiles coming up to you, hopefully this weekend or next week. Peace.